Testing.
Great.
So, when they're starting, you won't be on. Gotcha. That also means you and I have to watch our laughing. Gotcha. For anything, so we try to like, just stay disconnected from it. When they introduce you, I will walk your chair on, and I'll try to kind of like move it there, and then feel free to like have a seat, and then I'll move the mic over to you. It'll feel clumsy. It's meant to feel like clumsy. Yeah, and so feel free to be like, oh, right here or whatever. You don't have to force it, just if anything awkward actually happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll probably be like 15 minutes before we get to you, just because they've got headlines and stuff to get through. Great, 9 minutes. Right, I should get these shots real fast. Oh shit.
can here.
Okay, 4 minutes.
Are the mics down?
Yes, the background music is up. I'm starting a new thing where I'm just soloing with the background music tracks.
Love it.
But yeah, your mics are up. Oh, all my coloring didn't save from last time. That's why. These are weird.
Alex, I posted in the Discord.
Can you tell people to join the Discord to see the link?
Yeah, we can have.
And there's something up with that. Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Could we try doing the thing? We try doing the thing where we start by talking to each other.
Sure.
What if we make it about the t-shirt?
Okay.
It's like, how often do you wear t-shirts?
Okay. But let's decide on a. I think we should make it pretty snappy though. Like to get it like kind of like bam, 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 hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's all it needs to be. I just think it's cooler than just staring into the camera.
Sure.
Anyway, so how was your day at this new job?
It's good. Those jobs are really comfy. I mean, well, they're serious,
Hey.
hectic, but like, you know, there's like as many kind of snacks as you ever kind of freaking could imagine.
What, so you said this at Showtime.
All right,
Yeah.
2 minutes.
If you went into Showtime and and it was Showtime.
Well, it's only been Showtime 3 times for me, and each of those times I felt like I was flying upside down underwater. So
Yeah, this is actually good. This is a good question. What is the most important time you've ever experienced Showtime?
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
I think, well, we don't know how many shows we have left. I think we should just talk.
Scoot it a little tighter. Do the side sit a little bit.
I think we should talk about the stuff that.
Should we have the monitor out?
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I could do that if you want to, Chris.
Multi-view monitor, Sony TV, or the MX?
Sony. Bam. Good job. Thanks.
Yep.
I'll go first since this is a hard topic.
Yeah.
So shortly after my divorce, it was my wife's turn to have the kids, and I was hanging out by myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna do something for me. I'm gonna go buy some stuff I like.
I remember that when you said that.
Yeah, I sent you an email. I said if you don't hear from me, something went wrong.
And you know what's interesting? What's interesting about that, as interesting as it is now, you've never said your wife's name out loud to me.
And that's because it's changing all the time.
Right.
All right, quiet all around. I'm running faster.
Yeah, can you, dude, during the cold open, let's keep the music down. Because otherwise it's going to screw it.
Okay, you want to play it for me?
How do you press play?
Just hit space bar. Great.
What are you doing? Is this what you want? Is this what you guys wanted?
Stay back that down.
I'll kill all of you!
This sucks. This sucks. We're being murdered.
From the deepest depths of the dark web, dark of the night.
that's why I never wear a t-shirt in the pool. Because it's not flattering.
I don't wear t-shirts. I only wear t-shirts. When I go to the pool, I will not take. I wear a t-shirt,
And I've seen you wear that, and
I don't go in the
and you
water.
wear a holster.
Yep.
Folks, welcome to another episode of Dark of the Night. We are your hosts. I am Eric Yearwood.
I'm Alex Myers. It's so great to be here with you tonight, Night Crawlers. We were talking about t-shirts in a way that was horrible for us just now. But now let's talk about t-shirts in a way that's good for everyone.
Yeah, because we've got a t-shirt. We've got a t-shirt you're going to want to wear.
And you want to wear it because if you buy it, I mean, we're incredibly poorly articulate about this, and even that was sort of a shitty sentence.
Yeah, the bottom line is it's a Dark of the Night t-shirt. It's on sale now. Go get it. We posted a link to the site where you can buy one in the Discord, so please join our Discord if you haven't already.
It's on sale. It's officially on sale. It's a great moment for us. It almost makes up for everything else that's happened.
We've been waiting for this for 11 years. And since the first time that Alex and we were standing outside of a parking lot in front of Circuit City, where we were both temping at the time, and it was the conversation where we were in the parking lot. We said, do you want to start a paranormal talk show? And this is back when we started on ham radio. And we shook hands and we said, someday we're going to have a t-shirt. And that day is now.
Thanks to the internet, and we can't talk about the internet all night, although it's tempting. Thanks to the internet, literally everything is possible. Make something up and search it. People have already done it. It's actually kind of frustrating. Think of a good idea. It's done. It's over.
Right.
The internet, everyone has grouped together and defeated us, and you probably.
And when they came out with Men in Black, the movie, they said, you guys, your career is done. When Men in Black 2 came out,
We got an email.
Yeah, we got an
from
email.
Hollywood.
Right. And they said we're kind of interested, but we also know you're done again now. And now they hear they're making a third Men in Black. And we're not even we don't even paying attention anymore.
Tonight,
Dr. Watney, hello.
hello to Dr. Watney, hello to all the night crawlers. Tonight we discuss unexplained artifacts. We have a real paranormal expert, an honest to God expert on unexplained artifacts.
And they're artifacts to give you heart attacks. Is kind of the way I've been thinking about it.
I mean, that's not. And here's what's cool. I got excited just now because I was like, "That's not." I went through two different thoughts just now. I was like, "That's not how I'm thinking about it. This is wrong." But then I was like, that's what learning is. Welcome to Dark of the Night, everyone.
Yeah. Dark of the Night. Dark of the Night is a program. For those of you who just joined us for the first time ever, you may have heard little kids at an elementary school call us Shark of the D. That is not the name of the program.
We've only been to one elementary school. Let's go into some headlines. Eric, let's clear the air. I feel a little bit high. This is not what the headline should be. No, I mean, it's fine.
It is a headline, which is good.
So, I was sort of pissed off when I was picking out the headlines tonight.
Okay. Was it?
Let me clear the air. So, as some of the night crawlers know who've been tuning in, our studio is under fire from
From the people who own it.
Yeah. They said you have to continue paying for it, and we said
We can't
is there
do
any
that.
negotiating that? Because we can't. Anyway, so here we are, hardworking guys. I'm going to explain this to you right now. I'm going to demonstrate, and this is not vanity. I've worked my whole life to be able to explain things like this.
Sure.
Okay? Strange lights above San Diego spark speculation of UFO. It is a UFO. Done. Less than 3 seconds. All I had to do was peek down at the picture while I was reading the headline. I secretly was making my analysis of whether it was UFO, but while I read the headline.
Right.
And so when I was done reading the headline, I was already done deciding whether it was UFO.
Yeah, this is the kind of fake news clickbait nonsense that gets our blood boiling. Well, where's the speculation? I mean, are you speculating that I'm wearing clothes right now?
Well, and go to the next headline, Chris, because this is what pisses me off. And again, we land right on the banners, and it's not that I'm not excited to see
That one was-
banners. It was a good banner. Let's keep moving. It was a good banner. Let's go to the next one.
What are we?
No. Here, there's one. There's
something we're going towards here.
There's something. Zachary Quinto got hired
Sure.
to host In Search Of.
Oh.
Do you understand why I'm pissed? I wanted that job.
I tell you, they passed over you for this In Search Of job, and they passed over me for the Mallrats reboot. And I was stoked to be Silent Bob. But it makes you want to say, get a grip, Hollywood. There's 2 guys that are ready to rock.
It also makes you want to go. It makes you want to say, yeah. I'm ruined.
Yeah.
I just declared bankruptcy last week.
Zachary Quinto. What is Spock? Kirk to Spock.
Yeah. Get another.
Blow me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's go to the next headline. This pisses me off too, and I don't mean to set a sour mood. I'm excited. I'm excited to be pissed off because, okay. So BBC America announces 5-day X-Files 25th anniversary.
God, bitch!
It's fun, and I don't mean this sarcastically. I do mean it sincerely. When we're can't afford to keep the studio and Alex starts smashing our equipment that we worked hard to pay for, that's when I just have to lean back and just be like, yay! Yay for my life and for this guy. And I can hear the popping as the cord fault is loose in the
What are the
in the socket.
Here's why I'm mad.
You worked hard on these headlines, and that's why I think that this is going great. Because you put all this together, and I really appreciate it.
I just picked things I was pissed off about.
Yeah, well, if there were a show where that was the focus, that'd be something.
Well, here, you know what? You're right. I hear the message loud and clear. Can I just finish telling you why I'm pissed off?
Yeah.
Just this one last sentence. Do you understand how much royalties they're making? We can move on. It's just they're well off.
Well, no, I'd like to
just
talk
pissed
about. I don't, because I don't know.
I guess me either.
Does
And
anybody?
it didn't take. It did. I mean, a lot.
Does anybody out there know how much royalties these guys are making? Because they're obviously laughing all the way to the bank. I mean, this guy, David Duchovny, he's got a sex addiction. He's clearly just out there whacking and jacking every which way, dating Hollywood starlets and whatnot for 25 years. And we've been just slamming our heads against the wall, trying to make this truth hunt work.
Let's promise each other that from now on, and I know this doesn't solve anything. In fact, it may, as I'm thinking through what I'm about to suggest, it may be sort of pitching as an idea a mental ailment.
Okay.
Let's not talk about David Duchovny anymore. And when we see him, let's pretend we don't see him. And we both have to do that.
I like that.
I guess let's
And
do
I don't know why I like it, but I do.
It's, I would say repression, it's become a negative term, but it's a classic. Why do people keep doing it?
If you don't repress stuff, my blood is repressed inside of my body. Otherwise, it would shoot out all over the place. So, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, you have to repress some things. There's so much that I'm not saying right now. It's distracting.
Yeah, I've got something inside of me that wants to just, I guess, to become. I want to be Sauron, but like in real life. And I'm not going to do that. Not tonight.
Should we do one more headline? Let's just take a look at one more headline.
Dr. Watney says David Duchovny's cute. Well, Dr. Watney, why don't you marry him? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, and also, not to be a stickler, how are we going to enforce, I don't know how we're going to enforce this David Duchovny repression. We just need to do it in order for it to work. It just needs, we can't mess that up. We can never talk about him.
Well, I'm out of work. I've got plenty of time to figure it out.
I'm out of work too. Let's put tomorrow aside to figure that out.
I'll tell you what, I'll meet you at Hardee's for breakfast, 8:30 a.m. sharp. We'll both bring newspapers, and we'll draw all over them. And we'll get to the bottom of it.
We have a guest tonight.
That made me hard to believe.
I would say that was as close to scream therapy as I've ever gotten on this show. It feels great. I knocked over my mic. I feel ready to go. And let's be clear about let's restate the mission of this show as we bring our guest back on.
The mission of Dark of the Night is to explore and spelunk deep into every crevasse where the truth is hiding under the blanket of mystery. It's to go into the outer limits of the imagination and come back wiser, stronger, hotter, horribly endowed with the truth.
There's a path towards truth, and it's always available to you. The door can never close, but there's always some guys in front of it, and you have to fight them. And we're sitting here night after night just building one huge, just a big illegal way to defeat them.
What did Jim Morrison say? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Jim Morrison.
Oh my God.
Let me in.
The guest is only because the guest is standing over here.
Folks, we've got a thrilling guest.
Yeah, let's get the so tonight we have even though our mental state is severely disrupted and severely sort of demolished because of our chosen poverty, we have someone to keep us on track. Why don't we bring in Tom, and we'll talk about this subject. Tom Vullo.
And we don't usually do this, but we're going to give him a round of applause.
Yeah. We have our director, Chris, bringing in his chair. Tom, thanks for coming on the show, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Great to see you.
I'm excited.
Well, Tom, our night crawlers here are going to be delighted
Night crawlers.
to talk to you.
Good. I'm very excited to talk. I'm very excited to talk to them and to talk to you.
So tell us about unexplained artifacts.
Unexplained artifacts, out of place artifacts, UPAs, are artifacts that have been discovered in unusual contexts that usually sort of speak to or suggest a more advanced technology than we would have thought would have existed in that time, and sort of don't mesh with the chronological historical order, and also artifacts that suggest human presence where there shouldn't be any human presence in time.
Well, so give us a concrete example. That's a mouthful, Tom. You almost made my cowboy hat kind of slide off.
Sorry. Yeah. It's kind of a head scratcher of a concept. But objects have been discovered that have completely confused scientists and people in the know, people who work in these fields. But the core of the topic, right, is that these objects, like
you were telling me before, like they found there was evidence of a spark plug, right?
Yes. There's always the chance that these things are hoaxed and fabricated. There is a fairly prevalent story of an out-of-place artifact where it was what appeared to be a spark plug encased in stone. There are examples,
and just to be clear, right?
Yeah.
In stone, in a situation that for let's call them normies,
That's a good term.
Normies would say, "What is this doing here? This doesn't make sense. This stone is so old around the spark plug.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can't explain how it got there."
When the spark plug interacted with this stone, it was just mud. It obviously, the spark plug fell into the mud, and then 500 million years passed, and
one of the explanation, right? So it brings to mind two major explanations, right? Either possible time travel.
The idea is that we may be discovering artifacts of us traveling back in time, or maybe there was an advanced civilization, prehistory, that knew how to make spark plugs.
And if you could, so I'm going to try to sort of put together what's important about this, right?
Right.
Because I know I want to hand things off to Eric, and I want to but I want to have a moment of wrapping my head around this. So the reason it's important is because now I know I can buy spark plugs anytime, during any time period. I could, it's like, so if I was teaching a history class, one way to teach that history class is this is ancient Egypt. You could buy a spark plug back then.
I mean, we may not have a completely accurate or complete record of our prehistory. I think we do know spark plugs were a pretty it's a pretty rare item throughout history. You don't see many references of spark plug, even in ancient Egypt.
Why are these time travelers bringing so many spark plugs?
That's just one theory.
Right. Well, Eric, what do you make of this? Because it's blowing me away, but it's also blowing me into my seat at the same time. You know, because it's like, is there a good explanation? Is there a fantastic explanation, or
Well, I'm fascinated. Chris, we'd like to know also what the Nightcrawlers think of this. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and put our number up on the screen. Folks, we're bringing back phone calls tonight. So if you've got it in you to ask a question on the air, call us up and we'll put you live on the air to talk to Dr. Tom?
No, just Tom.
Well,
not-
let's
but-
say...
maybe.
just
well,
say
you're
Dr.
on the
Tom.
show. I think that's worth something. So we would like to make you a doctor right now.
Okay.
Tom, one of the I'm a great interest in objects,
Yeah.
and about the power of objects, and one of the things that I'm into is crystals. And as one of we have someone who follows the show named Weenus Grabber 134, and he remarked that I wonder if Eric realizes he's wearing an artifact around his neck. Now,
That's interesting.
is there anything? I believe it does have special powers.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
order it off Amazon, so some might say, "Oh yeah, that's nothing."
Yeah, fuck them.
But this, to me, it means a lot.
Yeah, that's actually a very profound statement. That is the ultimate archaeological object, a mineral, a gemstone.
Now, when you say that, the ultimate object, what is the ultimate object? Is there one of these
There
artifacts
is.
that seems to be the most mysterious of all?
There is, and I apologize that I'm going to reference my phone, but I just want to make sure I get this as right as possible. There's one that's sort of like the holy grail of out of place, unusual artifacts, and it's called the
Eric,
Antikythera
kill Alex with this.
mechanism.
Eric, kill Al.
That's good.
I feel like you sort of had a change of.
What
were you saying?
What is the mechanism?
The Antikythera mechanism. It's a clockwork device that was actually pulled out of the ocean, and experts have been sort of poring over it for many, many years.
What's the importance of this specific object?
They believe that it was actually a device that measured the path of planets and constellations.
Well, let's talk big picture here, right? Let's talk big picture because I think overall, what's fascinating to me about this issue, and don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by everything. I think if you
Me
look
too.
at because if you read about Zen masters, for instance, they'll say something like, for the next year, to their students, they'll say, I want you to sit and instead of me teaching you classes, I want you to stare at this fish in this bowl. And they'll say, for a year, like, can't you teach me anything else? And you said, and they're like, you will learn.
It's a test.
It's a test, and there's a strong connection between, cowboys and that kind of thinking. And I guess what I'm saying is this: big picture, so much is amazing about this. But also big picture, what's most amazing is time travel and ancient aliens as explanations, possible
It's
explanations.
definitely an explanation. I think time travel is probably on its way to becoming a possibility.
Can I just point out that we're getting a lot of people in the chat telling you and I, Alex, to run away. And I don't know why. They're not really saying. Some people just saying, trust us. They saw a vision. I don't. y'all crazy, as they say. I don't know what you're talking about, and we are having a good time and getting to the bottom of a lot of cool.
We're having a great
issues.
time.
Yeah.
So, Tom, you were just about to elucidate the finer points of that connection between cowboy archetype. And
Well, we were talking about the possibility of time travel, and also at the beginning, I explained that one of the big elements about a place artifacts is that it suggests the presence of humans in a time where there weren't supposed to be any humans.
Alex, kill yourself with this. Then, using the same weapon, kill Eric.
So Papa. Look,
I don't know I feel weird.
well,
But look, I don't want to. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to go Eric.
Yep.
Eric has very serious beliefs about time travel.
You do.
I do. I believe that we have, in the future, will evolve into a race of people that will be like aliens, and that we will go back in time
To our own time?
to our own time.
Well, the current theory about time travel is that you are never able to go back into your own timeline and affect your own timeline. As soon as you go back in time, you're actually jumping into a parallel dimension. And you would exist in that parallel dimension with whatever changes you've made. It would then sort of branch off. It's the Back to the Future theory, with Biff and the casino.
Not familiar.
Well, here's what I will say. When I hear about movies, just all movies, I get pissed. But also, I do get...
Shouldn't have brought up a movie. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You know what? We're sensitive right now because we are in the gutter. We're ruined. But I will say this. I have always believed, and I think this is one of the things that always drew me and Eric together. We believe that through will alone, you can kind of just change stuff. So it's like, okay, so if scientists say to me, right, like, hey, Alex and Eric, you can't create, you can't change your own past. That's when we take our shoes
You double
and
down,
socks off.
and you're like, we're going to change our own past.
We take our shoes and socks off and we say, watch me, asshole.
Well, in that case, what you would have to do is get in communication with a parallel dimension version of yourself, and convince them to go back in time to change your timeline.
That is I feel like we need a chart to chart this all out because it's so fascinating. And when Alex, though, we're connecting A to B to C and changing our own timelines in the process almost. But when Alex said you need will alone, it made me think about Willow. You need Willow. So if you were to go back in time and let's say you were born with some sort of let's say you were born Willow, and then you went back in time to say, oh, I'm going to change a few things and I'm going to maybe be a little bit taller or whatever, then you wouldn't actually be the same entity. You would be someone different. You would be Mad Mardigan. You would be one of the Brownies. You would be a Daikini. And so that's kind of what you're saying, is that there are these different offshoots in our temporal tree.
That is kind of what I'm saying. I can see what you're talking about. Any small fluctuations, if you start going in and you start altering your past, it's going to change who you are in the present. Is that kind of what you're saying?
It is, but I'm also reading, people are saying that we should just punch you in the face, which is a weird thing. What is with the night crawlers?
It's a late night crowd, night crawlers.
I tell you,
It's a rowdy crowd.
It's hump day, and so everybody's a little bit on edge.
Well, I'm, in a way, not knowing whether there's... Whoa. I really broke my mic before. not knowing whether there's any justification for that at all. It makes
Yeah.
me kind of proud of them because the Nightcrawlers are a rootin' tootin' bunch of thugs. They are violent thugs who will look a ghost in the face and say, I will rip your head in half by putting my hands in your mouth and just going like that.
Now, how do the Nightcrawlers ever sort of bring you their own personal stories? Like, I'm wondering if any Nightcrawlers out there have ever come across, I guess, for lack of a better term, an artifact that seemed out of place.
Please, if there's any Nightcrawlers who have an encounter with an unexplained artifact, we have an expert here willing to do whatever. Literally, he's here to do whatever we ask him to do, if you understand me.
Yeah, the Nightcrawlers, sometimes they could be a little shy, because it's not the jocks of the world who search out the deep truths.
I'm not a jock either. I'm a deep truther.
Yeah.
None of us are jocks, really.
Now, Jimmy...
What sport did you play?
Rambo.
Well, you said part of the title of the movie.
Well, I don't know.
Do you mean I'm gonna give this a generous interpretation because there's something here to what you just said.
Yeah.
Rambo famously fired an arrow, and that is actually firing arrows. That's not what it's called. It's called archery. That's a sport. Is that the sport?
He was fairly fit too.
Yeah.
I could imagine I could imagine the best jock of all is just a guy who looks like Rambo but doesn't do anything. He's just on the sidelines and he's just like, I look like this. That's my sport. And I'm so shiny.
That's what I meant. I'm gonna prove it.
Well, that was a happy moment to find out that that's what you meant, because it's very cool to know that that's what you used to do.
Yeah.
There's another theory aside from the time travel theory.
Great.
That this is some of the things that we're discovering as out-of-place artifacts. It's just also evidence of a higher civilization, like a high-tech civilization, kind of Atlantean style that may have existed before our own, and we're just finding little elements of them.
So like
trapped.
Wakanda.
Yes, Wakanda. Yes. Also, it's very interesting to sort of follow this. I would say maybe put out of place artifacts in sort of your Google little message thing, because the polar ice caps are melting, and they have not. They have not been melted in a long time. So it's actually revealing.
You laughed. You sort of chuckled to yourself, almost
think- yeah.
like you're like, my time is now.
I know. No, I was just thinking of something else.
No.
Well,
Both of you will be dead soon, thanks to this.
It's a screwdriver. So.
Well, look,
I mean, I was thinking of something else too.
Jimmy Buffett. We've got this book that has been sitting on our table for the last few weeks.
I love Jimmy Buffett.
And he's seen it all. Mm-hmm. And he's been up and down and all over the town. And I'm just wondering if there's any kind of connection there.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett has a song about a volcano erupting. Where are you going to go when the volcano blow? Which could have been a contributing factor.
Right. Do you think now that we know that, let's call it a 50% likelihood that this book is involved. I don't want to say heavily involved. Let's say it's involved with our topic tonight.
The book, the Jimmy Buffett book?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, going from that, did he start what we're talking about tonight, or did
he start out of place artifacts?
I'm just trying to find out the truth. And if I have to ask 500 million questions that make no sense or are not clear, then I'll ask every one of them to get to the good questions.
You know, the originator of the interest in out of place artifacts is definitely a man named Fort. Forte. He is the creator of Fortean Times. Right. I think I'm blanking. I think his first name was William Fort. But yeah, he's the one that he was the original truth seeker. To be honest, he predated all of us.
So he's like the original Jimmy Buffett.
I mean, if we were able to find some sort of connection between Jimmy Buffett and out of place artifacts, yeah.
I want to give the Nightcrawlers their due here. The people are saying a lot of stuff. Weenus Grabber again is talking about something about a screwdriver. Dr. Watney says she's fed up. She can't do this anymore. Matt 967 says, if ancient aliens are real, why do people only find stuff we already have, like spark plugs? That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
like why aren't there things that we've never seen before? Why is it always like, a screwdriver, a spark plug, a hammer, a hamburger?
I think that's the Jimmy Buffett thing. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I will say there are some out of place artifacts. Out of place artifacts in the form of hieroglyphics. There's a rather famous one. I think you just do a quick search on Google, you'll find it, about a hieroglyphic showing a person inside what appears to be a spaceship. Operating a complex series
I
of
think
controls.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Yeah. That is something we haven't seen before.
A spaceship.
Maybe. It's definitely a very strange drawing.
This topic tonight, to me, it's at the sort of the crossroads of a number of things of importance. I mean, the ancient alien theory, possibly. I mean, this is all theoretical. Or time travel, right? I mean, these are a couple of the sort of most exciting paranormal fields, right?
Atlantis, that was one he mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah, but Atlantis has been pretty well debunked as, just a story.
Well, I believe
we've been doing some work on it.
In discovering Atlantis. There's quite possibly a few submerged civilizations, but I think the story of Atlantis is a fictionalized parable.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, potato.
Yeah, I mean, when you say we've been sort of, when we hear something sort of questioned in that way. We get a little sad in a way that makes us, and now I don't want to say something rude to you,
Right.
but you are sort of, you're acting like you're the king of Knowledge Town.
Yeah.
You're strolling in here.
I totally understand I get this quite a bit, actually, and I understand what you're saying.
Well, look, Tom, we're filmmakers on the order of James Cameron, where we are inventing methodologies to research our documentary subjects. And so we've got a couple of things in the garage that we've been tooling around with that are going to allow us to go places that nobody's ever gone before. And should we tell them?
Yeah, I would love to hear this.
We spray and painted our car 10 different colors, and now it's different.
And that's it.
So the multicolored, it's a bunch of colors
On top of one another.
and that's gonna take you where?
Well, we're going to go to there's trade shows all over, and we're going to find some porcelain and just run some tests on it.
Okay.
And I'm confident that we're going to get the results we're looking for.
I want to try to take advantage of let's map out from beginning to end one possible explanation.
One possible explanation.
Kamala Harris is on the...
Yeah. So Kamala Harris plays, as you were concluding, plays a certain part in
the...
Yeah. I'm gonna smash your fucking head in!
Let's map out from beginning to
From beginning to end, do we, what the possible out-of-place artifact scenarios?
Yeah, so let's say we find a spark plug in like in the seabed.
Right.
In
Just
rock,
like
in rock that disqualifies the possible explanation that it comes from a civilization that we understand is capable of leaving that artifact.
Okay.
So
wait, slow down again. So we discover a spark plug in a rock that we know something about. What about the civilization?
So let's assume that we find one of these objects and it's 100% certain that we can't explain it through any means that lines up with history as we know it now.
Like it's embedded in like 500 million year old rock and it has "Made in the USA" printed on the side.
Right. Let's say that it is time travel. Right?
It is time. Okay, let's say it's time travel.
What do you think that mean? What would that mean?
It means that we, as a people, as a culture, as a civilization, are, what's it called when technology?
I hate to interrupt. We've got a caller calling in. Hello, you're on the line with Dark of the Night.
Hi, hello. I just woke up. I am not wearing pants, but I heard all about the spark plug when I woke up. I'm curious, who made this spark plug?
Sorry, well, before we get to the question, what does that have to do with you not wearing pants? I don't even want to really talk about that, but like, that's just no way to really start a serious line of questioning. But the question was.
time traveler is your explanation. It's actually so. It's such a nonsensical understanding of how objects work that I have a hard time articulating it in a way. He said, "Did the time traveler create the object by bringing it back in time?" It's hard to understand.
He's thinking on a new level. I do understand kind of where that type of thinking would take you.
Well, it's a delicate balance here, Tom, because we try not to. We want to invite the night crawlers to sort of express themselves, but some of the ones that have sort of a limited understanding of just how any kind of normal facts work, we try not to give them too much help or credit.
We're going to bring this call to an end. It's an interesting. Now I know you were saying he may have a point, right? But
did he actually bring the spark plug into existence by taking it back in time? Was that the question?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take it. I mean, judging from the fact that he thought it was important to share with us that he wasn't wearing pants.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he knew what he was talking about. He may have been asking a question as simple and sort of nonsensical as like, "Hey, did I make this cup by picking it up?"
Yeah,
it's almost like something you'd read in like Aristotle or something.
Right. It was almost so dumb that it became interesting.
Okay.
It was like, I'm looking at a candle. When will that start to exist? So,
I see.
But that doesn't. We shouldn't let that rob us from the richness of the thing that we were just discussing.
Well, let's assume, Eric.
Yeah.
What is your honest take on this, Eric? Because I find the issue, it's a speculative issue, right, Tom? There's no official explanation.
There's no official explanation.
And there's no connection between these many instances of this. What do you make of it? I mean,
and it's highly ridiculed.
Eric, there are all these objects out there that people can't explain where they came from.
Right.
And so
axe heads embedded into rock.
Right. And it sort of precludes, it sort of suggests that this is earlier than humans could have ever been. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you honestly make of that?
I mean, I don't see that there's any reason why the time travel explanation doesn't hold water. I mean, look, Superman flew backwards around the sun 3 times and it spun the earth backwards and then he was back in time. I know it doesn't really work like that. That's a stupid, childish way to kind of like example to point to. But nevertheless, if he did that, then it's possible. And so the point is we can think about time travel and therefore it must be happening already. So I think that it's perfectly plausible.
Yeah.
And I know, look, I'm smart enough to know that what I said, it was a far cry from what that caller just said, but there is a distinction.
It sounds almost the same.
Well,
thing.
but except that I'm here hosting the show, and I kind of probably get just a little bit of extra credit for
right
acting like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the Catholic Church. There's. I'm immediately sorry I brought that.
Yep. Uh-oh. I have to go now.
Go. Leave. Well, that was... I guess I'm glad he left when he did, because it was so strange that it kind of erased this sort of poor choice and subject that we kind of blundered into.
Yeah, how'd we do that? I mean, somebody must have come back in time and told us, hey, I got a shitty idea for a show.
Just mention the Catholic Church.
Yeah, just do that, and then it'll all come together at the end. Look, let's revisit a little bit what the Nightcrawlers are saying, guys. We haven't forgotten about you. Matt 967 is saying, so we have a cross-dimensional time traveler and the most advanced technology leaves behind a spark plug that you can buy for $4 at an AutoZone. It's $6.50 for a spark plug at AutoZone.
It's an interesting point, and that's one of the things. I think that was like one of the. It's. I think it's a great point. Why
Yeah.
such a simple technological object?
Yeah, and so this is one of those shows that we walk away and we're gonna have to. I probably think about this for probably a year. I'm thinking before we talk about it again.
Our schedule is so filled with. I mean, we have every time we do a show like this, we schedule that year.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a metaphor. We schedule out our entire year of discussing a show. And so at this point, we are now into our 131st year. We're definitely going to we will be dead.
We planned our death episode.
And it's
big. But not the biggest though, which is
he kept threatening to kill us.
Yeah.
What was your read on that?
Well,
it was sort of
I wasn't sure because he would threaten to kill us and then all of a sudden he'd just have a smile that was just as wide as you could imagine, and I'd be sitting there thinking, and and then I was like, we got to get out of here.
It's interesting to have someone on the show who, I mean, some of these topics are hard to wade through, and especially when someone's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's time for a little bit of dark truth.
Yeah, I think so.
Papa don't preach. I'm in love with him. Papa don't preach. I've been losing sleep. And I'm waking my mom 'cause she's having my baby. Look, I went back in time and I wrote that song in 1941. And I knew that Pearl Harbor was going to happen. I knew Abraham Lincoln was going to be assassinated. And I knew that Lady Gaga was going to make a song that sounds just like a prayer. And then I invented the persona of Madonna, and I lived 1,000 years and died on another planet. So if you don't believe that, you don't want to join the KISS Army, which I'm about to start in about a year and a half, then I don't know what to tell you. It's not easy being green. That was the first time I've ever heard that said. And I was the first person to say it. And I'm about to invent something new now. I mean, it's obviously Kermit the Frog. And it's weird that you knew I was going to say that because I just made it up. This is the circle. This is the circle of life. It's time is a loop. History is cyclical. And at the end, when that cycle comes crashing down, I mean, we're just gonna lay on it. It's gonna be a big pile of history, and we will just lay on it. When I was 17, I went on a senior cruise, and I didn't have any friends, and so I brought a bunch of acid with me. And one night, I took acid, and I stayed up all night long on the deck of this cruise ship, and I thought I was an Aztec warrior. and I ran around with my shirt off, and I thought that I knew the secret of life. And then the next morning we stopped in Cozumel, and I ate all of the Caesar salad because I was trying to not eat that much because I wanted to have a beach body. And I drank too much vodka, and I went back to my hotel room, or on the ship, and I threw up, and I just projectile vomited all over the wall, and I had to pay the porter like $40 to clean it up, all the vomit and Caesar salad off the wall.
Thanks for watching the episode tonight. I want to thank our guest, Tom Vulo, who left in a hurry after threatening to kill us many times. We have a t-shirt that we sell now. We posted in our Discord. We actually got an extension on our studio, so we're going to be here for a couple more months. But we are planning our massive telethon that we are going to, and we're going to turn this ship around.
Yeah.
We're gonna fill the piggy bank.
2019 is going to be the year where Dark of the Night is going. We're selling out, but selling out in a way that nobody's ever sold out before, because we're going to do it in the way that it's meant to.
Like how Coldplay did it.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It's like yes, thank you.
It's like cha-ching, but gosh, you guys have integrity.
Yeah, it's like. I'm glad we brought Coldplay up at the end because Chris, play that song Clocks as we fade out. You can't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.